I bought you with a purpose. Hello humans, and welcome to another episode of Gen X Gamer. Guys, I wanted to share my experience with Evercade, the Versus, and the handheld. Let me tell you this, there's a couple of things that happened. I actually tweeted about this a while back ago. I was actually without power for like 2 days. And let me tell you, this bad boy right here, oh man, it came through. When my Switch died, after everything else was down, right? Because we had no power. Somebody ran into a utility pole down the street and we were out of power for 2 days. You know, people were throwing away their groceries. I mean, it was bad. It was bad. But let me say this, it really brought out the reason why I bought these two consoles right here. Now, for those of you who've been around in the channel, you guys already know this, but for those of you who are new, and we've gotten quite a bunch of new subscribers in the last couple of months, is, I intend to keep a second home. It's going to be overseas, and it's going to be in a beautiful place. However, the challenge there is that there is no internet, right? And that proved to me, and that power outage, it proved to me the reason that I bought this, right? Because this is an area we're going to be at where there are power outages, for example, where there is very limited internet connections. And that's what I was, having here. I had all these games that I couldn't play. Couldn't play them because there was no power, right? And I had no internet either, so all I could play was my physical media, and it was great. First I started with the DS, but I have to say the battery life of the Evercade Portable was great. But that's the reason I bought the console. That doesn't mean that this console's for everybody, guys. It's a great tertiary console. If you're a collector, if you're a game hoarder, let me tell you, if you're a game hoarder and have OCD, the number system here is gonna make you buy a lot of cartridges. But even in that, guys, the cartridges are $20, so it's not like spending $70 now is the current price for games. So it's great for a Gen X gamer, of course. It would make a great Father's Day gift. If you have somebody in your life who's of my generation, they would love this, because there's a lot of old arcade games in here that you can play in a console. And yes, you can emulate it and so on and so forth. But trust me, there's a lot of people out there, my generation, that don't game because it's not convenient. They're not going to emulate. They're not going to go and log into a computer and get an emulator and download ROMs and all that stuff. They're not going to do it. They'd rather do it like they used to do it in the old days. If it's not this, then one of the plugins, you could buy. But let me say, for the price, right? For the prices that I paid for these games and these consoles, they're absolutely perfect, right? You're not paying a lot of money and you're getting a lot of playability. Now, the one thing that people don't mention about this particular console is that a lot of these games are just older games that are just pick up and play, which are perfect, right? If you're busy, if you don't have the time to be playing, 4 or 5 hours, if you're not going to be a streamer, if you just want to entertain yourself for a little bit, hey, this is perfect. This is perfect right here. It's perfect for my situation. I had actually ordered this and the Amico, since they didn't, at that point I thought they didn't need to be hooked up to the internet. It looks like the Amico will be. But regardless, I wanted to have two consoles overseas so I could just pick up and play games over there, because when I'm actually traveling, I have a lot less time to play games, because I'm sightseeing, we're doing things, we're hiking, we're enjoying the different cities that we go to. But once in a while I do get tired, or I'll have a Sunday where I'm just gonna sit and veg, and those are the days where I play a little bit. I like to have the option to play something, and it's not in a time where I'm going to be playing the PlayStation 5, or I'm going to be playing the Xbox, or even my computer. By the way, that time is coming up next month. At the end of July, you're not going to see me for a while. I might film a couple of videos, but I will be traveling and I'll be gone from the country for a month. I need that kind of break. I haven't taken here a long vacation in a couple of years, so I'm going to do that. The Asian Princess and I are going to do some important things, and I'll keep you updated, right? But for the purposes that I bought this console, it's absolutely perfect, right? If you want to have something that you want to keep in a rural area where you don't want to worry about having the internet, where you want something that just pick up and play, that you don't have to spend 10 hours in, let me tell you, this is a great value, and you rarely get to say that nowadays. Overall, if I had to rate this system, I would rate it an 8 out of 10, right? Because of the price. If it was I don't know, $180, I would say it's a 6.5 or a 7. But the price point is right on the money, not only for the system, but for the games, right? You get a value. Sometimes you get 6 games, sometimes a little less for $20. That's not bad. That really isn't bad, and it'll scratch that itch, that collector's itch. If you don't want to be paying, $50, $60 for an old cartridge, it's all right here. And there's a lot of great games that you can play. Not only these old arcade ones, which are my favorite, by the way, the older arcade games are, but you can also have physical media and television physical media. Isn't that something? But those are the kind of games, you just pick up and play a little bit, and I really look forward to taking these overseas, installing them, and, they're really going to get me that entertainment factor, that smaller entertainment factor that I need overseas, whether it's the form factor of traveling around where there's not a lot of power. A lot of places I'm not going to have, adapters to plug in my Switch, or, just I want to keep my cell phone battery, because I might be somewhere very rural. And when you go to other countries, believe it or not, you do a lot of waiting. Things are not as fast. You have to get used to being very, very patient. It could be just, for example, going to the bank. Going to the bank here, you're in and out within, 10, 15 minutes? For the same transactions, you might spend an hour depending on what country you're in. And rather than get frustrated because nothing's going to change, right? You're not going to change another country because you're impatient. You sit there and you play your game while you wait. And for those purposes, the Evercade systems are great. They're a great value. Like I said, they're not for everybody. If you're a modern gamer, if you're somebody, if you're a game hoarder, you're going to love it. If you're addicted to collecting, this is right up your alley, because those numbered boxes, that OCD, right? This is like crack for your OCD. It's not like you're spending, $339. For what you pay for this, you can give it to your aunt, your uncle, your favorite friend, whatever. It makes a great gift. It's pick up and play, and for me, it has been a great, great value.
New videos every Monday and Sunday. Thank you for joining me on another episode of the Gen X Gamer. Remember to like and subscribe, click that notification bell, and remember, never ever be afraid to be happy. I'll catch you on the next one. Take care.